the Woonasquatucket River Watershed Council. Alicia Lura was going to be here tonight with us to make a presentation, but she's yielded the presentation to our good friend and neighbor, Bob McMahon, Ward 5 neighbor. He used to be the former director of the Parks Department. But before he gets up and speaks, I just want to say that everybody knows there's a bit of a flooding issue on Pleasant Valley Parkway. It's been that way for some time. We've done a lot of work on it. Bob actually worked together with the Woonasquatucket Watershed Council and wrote a grant. We got a grant to do some work on stormwater management work. It's really exciting. And thank you, Bob, for your effort as our neighbor, and thank you for your years of service to the city of Providence.
Thank you, Joanne.
Nope, the arrows are on top. There you go.
As Joanne mentioned, we have received a grant from the Rhode Island Department of Environmental Management to look at stormwater issues in the Pleasant Valley stream area. Primarily from a water quality point of view, but also the work that we're looking at would down the road help the flooding issue as well. It's a joint grant between the Parks Department and the Woonasquatucket River Watershed Council. Joining me tonight is Brian Burns, who's the Deputy Director of the Parks Department, and Ed Sanchez, who is a project engineer with the department, and Paul Relli, who is an intern with the Woonasquatucket Watershed Council. So I'd like to give you just an update as to what we're doing. Stormwater is one of those issues that kind of goes under the radar primarily. I mean, as you know, great improvements in the water quality of Narragansett Bay have taken place because of the work that the Narragansett Bay Commission has done over the years, particularly with stormwater or combined sewer overflows. But the next great water quality issue here for our streams and our rivers and Narragansett Bay is preventing the pollutants from stormwater from getting into the water. And you would say, well, what pollutants? Well, when you think about it, everything that, all the rainwater that falls on your roof, on your driveway, on the streets, eventually has to go somewhere, and it goes into water. And the area around Pleasant Valley Stream is about several hundred acres, between 300 and 400 acres. And so the water that lands on a parking lot in Providence College, in LaSalle Academy, in Rhode Island College, on River Avenue, all that water eventually goes into Pleasant Valley Stream. And it carries with it, fecal matter from birds, lead from gasoline, litter that has been thrown on the street, etc. So this project is an attempt to look at, are there ways that we can manage stormwater in this neighborhood? And it's a demonstration program, and we hope that it'll take off and that residents will work with us. And the other part is to actually use a new type of system to treat water that's going into the natural area of Pleasant Valley Parkway, the stream area that's got the nice grass area around it. We're going to be putting in some tree filters so that the water that goes into the existing catch basins on this stretch would go through a tree system with its roots and some special soil, so that the water, instead of going directly into the stream, would go through this tree filter and remove a lot of the pollutants that would normally go into the stream. So let me get us started. To the left there is outlined in red is in fact the watershed for the Pleasant Valley Stream. And let me just move over here for a second. So this is the Providence College area. This is Rhode Island College, Mount Pleasant High School, LaSalle Academy, and this is Chalkstone Avenue, and so all of this area drains into the Pleasant Valley Stream, and so there's a lot of potential pollution that does go into the stream. So the components of our project are to look at a system for filtering the water before it goes into this stream area, doing some work with homeowners to make them what we call stream-friendly homes, and I'll show you what we're thinking about. Doing some more planting in the stream area to take out the pollutants. Putting in some places where dog walkers can use the bags, dispensing areas, and make sure that when they pick up their dog poop, they put them in these bags and then put them in trash cans. And then finally some signs that we would put in front of the homes that participate in the program. So let me talk about the natural stream area. So right now, water goes into that catch basin, goes into that natural area, and out this outlet pipe and directly into the stream. And so whatever water and pollutants are on the street, they go directly into that pipe and into the stream. So what we're looking at doing is intercepting that water. These are what we call scuppers. These are examples in Roger Williams Park where instead of the water going into the catch basin, they'll be diverted into these little natural areas with river rock, and the water would go into the river rock and then into the groundwater. So this would alone by itself would prevent a lot of pollutants from going into the stream. But the thing we're really focusing on is putting in what these are called tree filters, and we're hoping to put 4 of them on that natural stream area on Pleasant Valley Parkway. And so the water would go into these catch basins and go into a box, and then a concrete box, and the water would be filtered through the tree roots and some special soil that will be put under the tree, and most of that will then be absorbed into the groundwater. If it's a really huge storm, there might be some additional water that would flow in a pipe that would eventually reach the stream. These tree filters have been used in only a couple of places in Rhode Island, but they've also been used in Massachusetts and New York State. And so they're pretty good in terms of removing pollutants. So total suspended solids, 85% removal, nitrogen, almost half, phosphorus, almost 2/3, and total metals, about 2/3, and oil and grease as well. So it's an inexpensive, fairly aesthetic-looking way of dealing with the stormwater that's coming off the roads into the Pleasant Valley Parkway. Last July and August, or August and September, I guess, as well, we surveyed homes in this area around the parkway, from south of Smith Street, north of Truckstone Avenue, from primarily Academy, and then over, looking at how homes presently deal with stormwater. The water that comes off your roof, down your downspout, what happens to it? Well, here's what happens to almost half of the houses that we looked at. The water comes down the downspout onto an impervious surface like a driveway and then flows into the street. Or, amazingly, there's a ton of homes in this neighborhood where these downspouts were directly connected to a standpipe that went into the city drainage system. And you've seen a lot of this houses throughout the neighborhood. So this is, back in the day when they built these houses, it was the most efficient way to get the water off the property into the city drain pipes into the stream. And so we actually have a lot of examples like this. So what can we do? Well, one of the things you can do is collect the water coming down the downspout into rain barrels and then divert that water into a garden area. Last September, neighbors in this area got together and built some rain barrels, and they were distributed to these neighbors. And so this is one way that folks can divert stormwater. Another one is to look at ways of making your driveway impermeable. This is kind of an extreme case. Nobody can afford to rip out all our asphalt and put in Belgian blocks like this. But at the base of your driveway, you could do a strip across the bottom of the driveway, and the water would flow into like a row of 2 or 3 of these, and the water would go into the Belgian blocks instead of all going out into the street. Rain gardens, we're hoping to demonstrate how rain gardens can be used to divert stormwater, and so you can take advantage of watering your garden. But the big thing we're going to be doing is showing homeowners how to divert stormwater from just going out onto a sidewalk or a driveway. And so there's an example in the left-hand slide where the downspout used to go into a hole in the ground, into a standpipe. And at one point it then was just diverted onto the sidewalk area into the street. But without very much effort, the water's been diverted and put into a garden area. And then the slide on the right shows you also how this might be done. And so we're going to pick about 10 or 12 homes in the area and demonstrate how this can be done.
Can we sign up?
Yeah, that'd be great. I brought a pad with
Yes,
me.
you can.
I brought a pad with me so you can sign up. And
I want the tree.
while we're doing these, we're going to figure out what the cost is, and it's going to be fairly inexpensive for most homes. We're going to do a video of it to show how it can be done, and we're going to put it on the council website. We're going to put it on the Woonasquatucket website and the parks website, so that if you want to figure out ways to divert stormwater from going into the street and the stream and into your yard, we'll show you how to do it.
Are you paying for the cobblestone driveways?
For the 12 homes that we select, we will actually.
Ah.
We will be. So we
That's a
might be,
reuse, right? of
yeah,
the
and we
old
might be able to do one driveway with 3 rows of Belgian blocks. Another way that water can be diverted is to put it into rock infiltration gardens on your property, which can be very nice looking as well. We're going to be doing some stream planting on Pleasant Valley Parkway as well. One of the problems with the parkway, the natural area, is that folks say it's too overgrown, we should cut the grass right down to the stream so we can see what's going on. But actually you need a buffer zone around the stream for the wildlife and also to filter out pollutants. But right now there's a ton of invasive species, just general weeds that are growing there that have no value except they're like 4 feet high. So the project involves also taking a lot of those invasive species out and replanting natural plants that you would see along a stream, like iris, for example, which are much smaller, much lower growing, and which would enhance the value of the stream. So this one is installed at River Avenue. We hope to put 2 more in as well. And there are 3 trash cans that have been put up, thanks to Councilwoman Ryan as well, so that as you're walking your dog, you can get a bag, dog has its stuff, her stuff, you can put it in the trash can.
Then who cleans out the box?
All right, so this is where I need some volunteers also. We have several hundred bags that go fit in these, and but we're going to need to organize a volunteer situation where somebody will be responsible, taking turns to fill it up when it is empty.
Actually, part of this effort, we formed Friends of Pleasant Valley Parkway. We worked with our other friends here from the Parks Department, Assistant Director of the Parks Department, Brian Burns, and we also have Ed Sanchez with us. But the Friends of Pleasant Valley Parkway organized cleanings, regular cleanups along the parkway, and we've got one that we're working with Providence College coming up on August 21st. They're going to be here on the parkway cleaning up the canal. They actually go into the canal and pull out some of the shrubbery and bushes that get stuck in there and anything else that people throw in there, because obviously we just learned how it pollutes the Woonasquatucket River. But anyway, if you're so inclined and you want to help on the 21st, we'll be out all day cleaning with about 100 students from Providence College. The new students come in, and part of their orientation is they work with us on a community service project.
That's their welcome to Providence.
That's their welcome to Providence. But I do want to say thank you to the Parks Department. The City Parks Department are fabulous. They've been a wonderful friend to the 5th Ward. We've got a lot of parks. We've done a lot of work in the past few years to try to improve the quality of life that we enjoy in our parks.
And just finally, the homes that we choose to participate in this volunteer program will have small little signs indicating that they care about the river, the stream rather, and maybe other folks will say, well, gee, how can I do that as well? So I'll open it up for questions and answers. Yes.
More of a technical question. I think you mentioned those boxes that have, I think you used the term special soil
Yes.
that filters.
Yep.
Does that soil reach at any point a saturation point where it can no longer filter anything? And if so, how often does it need to be changed?
So far, the tree filters have been in a few years and they haven't had any problems with it. The natural rainwater also, drains through there. And the pollutants tend to go throughout a much larger area than just the soil. And so the pollutants flow to the soil surrounding it as well. But we haven't seen any problem with having to dig out the soil.
Have you thought about laying pipe in there and filling it out and creating a nice park, similar to Blackstone Boulevard? You'd eliminate a lot of cost. There's no reason to keep that open. There's no reason to keep Pleasant Valley Parkway open as an open stream. There's walls there, cars have been in it. I've been in this neighborhood a long time.
Yeah.
I was in an accident, the first part in Cathedral Avenue. Shortly after, they filled it in.
Yeah.
It was in a very bad. No reason to keep Pleasant Valley Parkway open stream. Put a pipe in it, all storm drains are running through the system underground. Create a nice park there. People would love it.
All
You save a lot of money.
Okay. I disagree. I've heard that opinion before. A raise of hands here. Who would like to have
Well,
this?
what would be the negative? Tell me what.
Well, the negative is that how many places in Providence can you see water and nature?
That's not water. That water comes from as far away as North Providence.
it's a stream there, and I mean,
Have you ever seen the rats that go down there? If you live close by like I do, you'd see them in your yard. We're not talking about pristine water. We're talking about storm drain. All the nonsense we're talking about that goes in there.
We're trying to make it more
We're trying to
pristine.
clean it up so that people can enjoy it.
Well, why don't we
And it's
create a
great-
nice park?
We're trying.
Go on.
Stop the flooding?
Oh, all right. So this project is primarily driven by water quality issues, but reducing the amount of stormwater that goes into the stream will help reduce the flooding over time. That area, the area that drains into the Pleasant Valley Parkway, was never as developed as it is now. And so you have tons of parking lots that drain into the storm system and then through the parkway. Slowly but surely, things are being done. Providence College in the last 2 years has retrofitted most of their parking areas. They used to drain here. They drain on site now into bioretention areas. You should take a look at them. I mean, literally acres worth of parking lots. LaSalle has done some of that as well. They have a detention pond as well. So there's ways of reducing the flooding by reducing the stormwater. If you look down the streets near the parkway, I live on Sharon Street, and the amount of impervious surfaces between the roofs, the driveways, and the sidewalks before you even get to the street is enormous. And if that water can stay on site instead of going directly into the stream, collectively over 300 or 400 acres, it's going to make a difference. So we got to start somewhere, and this is a really inexpensive way, rather than building millions of dollars in flood control that probably would take years to do.
I don't think that the two are mutually exclusive. I think you can have a clean stream there and also have a nice park.
Yeah. All right.
Anybody else?
Yes.
So you've talked a lot about the part that's parallel to Academy Avenue. What are you going to do with the part that goes from Justice all the way down to the hospital?
Well,
Because that's where a lot of the flooding does happen.
Right. Well, but it starts here. It's downstream from here,
Yeah.
and everything in the neighborhood flows into there. So if we can use this demonstration project and show that, gee, for $32 you can get all the stormwater in your yard staying in your yard, and show people how to do it, that's going to reduce the water going in.
It
But
is a holistic project, so it
Yeah.
will impact the whole Pleasant Valley
But
Parkway section.
The real solution also to go along with neighbors doing it is to get the big parking lots, under control as well. And Providence College has done a heck of a job doing that.
And Roger Williams is stepping up to the plate. Institutions need to get a 5-year institutional master plan as part of their growth effort. They're building a new emergency wing on that hospital, and they put forth their institutional master plan, and they committed to planting a number of trees. There's about 228 trees, I believe, they're going to plant in the next 3 years. They've already put in 36, and I think they did it in a really nice way. If anybody's been around the back of the hospital and around the hospital, you can see that it really has complemented the neighborhood quite nicely. They put more in than they needed to, and they put them in on city property as well.
Okay, 2 more questions, and then I'll stay after the meeting as well, but go ahead.
I think the Trinity Parkway area of the city would benefit from the extra tree plantings. Half of the trees there died, so I'm not sure they're pulling out as much water as they could. And also one of the like dog poop stations would be very nice.
Did you say Trinity Parkway?
Yeah.
Okay, we'll take a look at that as well.
I actually spoke with the city forester. He is evaluating all of the trees on Trinity Parkway right now and coming up with a replanting program. He's looking for me to fund it, so I'm intimately familiar. He's very aggressively trying to plant some more trees there.
So-
You're right, we did lose some nice ones.
I'll stay afterwards and sit over there and take
Great.
any other additional questions and anybody wants to see. Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ed. Thank you, our friends in the Parks Department, and thank you, our friends at Woonasquatucket River Watershed Council, who give us guidance and technical assistance on all of these projects that really positively impact us.